Hi, I'm Tiffany Stanfield. I am the founder of Fighting Hard, fighting against hit and run driving. Now, I was recently tasked to comprise a video. And initially, the task was to comprise a video of 1 minute and 20 seconds to speak about why fighting hard, why my support for pedestrian safety. And then I received an email today, and the task was to shorten that by 20 minutes. And it's in an effort to push a very important cause, which is pedestrian safety. Here recently, I was involved in an automobile crash. A crash that, quite simply, God saved me. And in that moment, and since then, in recovery, there's so many feelings that bubbled back to the top. Feelings of grief, of losing my sister to a hit-and-run driver on my mother's birthday, and that same feeling of grief of losing my mother 5 days to the anniversary of my sister's death. And so I'm very, very excited about a collective of individuals that are fighting the pedestrian safety cause. But when I think about fighting hard, I think about the voices of so many victims and their families. I think about the legacy of my sister, Jamaica Stanfield. I think about her son, Anthony Portia. And I think about so many victims and families who have lost a loved one to traffic violence. Yes, we are fighting for 0 deaths. Yes, we all are fighting for pedestrian safety. But to ask me to comprise these thoughts and these feelings in a 20-second video or testimonial is merely impossible. When I think of the voices in my neighborhood, in my community, it cannot be dumbed down to 20 seconds. Because I speak for the voices of the underserved community, the lost voices of those that have forgotten about the meaning of pedestrian safety, the disparities that exist when a little black girl and a little black boy that have been killed by a reckless driver that is suddenly gone unnoticed. So when I tell you that I fight hard, there's the symbolism to the title of this organization is because I fight hard for my voice. I fight hard to wake up in the morning. I fight hard to put one foot in front of the other. I fight hard in one single voice for many voices that have been forgotten. So please don't ask me to leave a video and a message of 20 seconds when there are so many of us that are still suffering. Yes, 0 traffic deaths is a goal. Yes, if we call on President Biden, 40,000 people will die on our roads if we don't get help. But I am speaking on behalf of fighting hard. I am speaking on behalf of my neighborhood. You see, because we grew up riding our bikes in the middle of the street. We grew up running and playing in the middle of the street in our urban neighborhoods. But we are the forgotten neighborhoods, the forgotten voice. So I call on you when I think of my sister, who was killed by a driver driving 80 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone. That grief cannot be comprised in a 20-second video. There's no expiration on our grief. Every single death is preventable. Every single death is preventable. But I'm fighting hard. I'm fighting against hit and run driving. There is a reason that I chose that name. There is a reason that I choose to be a voice of many that are forgotten. So this is my testimony that lends itself to 0 deaths. We all are fighting for safe streets. Thank you for listening. One voice. What if it was your loved one? Would you ask for 20 seconds?